Alright, man. Let's finish the goddamn trilogy. I'm ready. Where are we at here? Part 3, 1 investigation. I believe this is the final investigation. Oh, this is the final day of investigation. I believe there's 2 parts of investigation. About Maya? Oh, did Mr. Godot tell you yet? Yeah, we heard. Search party out looking for her, but there's nowhere else she could have disappeared to other than the side of Dusky Bridge. All we can do is wait for Mr. Edgeworth to get here, pal. Edgeworth? Escorting Iris, the defendant, over here. We'll have to wait since this the only one who can open the door to the secret cavern. I think Mr. Edgeworth wants to talk to you about something too, pal. Huh? I wonder what it is. Just don't be expecting any good news when you talk to him. When I spoke to him, Mr. Edgeworth sounded so down, I felt like I was drowning. Sounds pleasant. Maya, so these letters are written in blood? Yeah. Who wrote it upside down? Which verses is the victim's blood? Huh? Is it Miss Dawson's blood? We haven't done any detailed analysis yet, but they're looking that way, pal. Most interesting. Finish right, I presume you know, don't you? Why Maya's name is written upside down? You know what? That was really bothering me too. I just came up with the answer. The result of my own special gumshoe investigation. Really? Do tell. Well, there to the murder. Stone Lantern was upside down. Anyway, there's really only one logical explanation to this mystery. Miss Elise Dawson wrote these letters herself. In her own blood. You must be joking. That's impossible. From the writing in the victim's blood and the other clues left behind, seems pretty likely that this garden was the scene of the Miss Elise Dawson's murder. At least that's our current theory on how the events took place, pal. What? Donkey. So Miss Dawson was killed here? However you want to look at it, that's what people are saying now. Then, what such a bikini saw in the courtyard of the main temple was... What was it? That wasn't the scene of the crime. What did she see? What do you think? Is it wrong karma? Surely a special gumshoe investigation would reveal the answer, no? But wait a sec, the bloody writing on all the other clues here. Someone could have easily set all that up after the murder, right? Sorry, but there's not an option, pal. Why not? I quickly forget Phoenix, Wright. Ever since the incident occurred, the place has been completely inaccessible. Because Dusty Bridge was completely burned out. Gasp. I was overseeing repairs to the bridge the whole time. No one came over here before me and my men. Which means no one could have planted all this stuff here, pal? I can't think of a kind of argument to that. I knew it. Should have washed the blood off the lantern as soon as I got here. There was a scene of the crime, and all I needed to figure out what exactly it was the bikini actually saw. Donkey, donk. Roman has a police badge, huh? It's been a couple of days, so forgive me. I'm trying to remember right up what we were doing. Well, I know it smells great. Yeah, this is the kind of weather for some steaming mashed potatoes and gravy. Have you nothing else to say about this than your inane ramblings about gravy? Not really. Let's leave it to that, okay? She was a mysterious person. Real name, her past, it's all a complete mystery. Still, it strikes me as odd. Why would someone who wishes to remain anonymous become an author? It would probably happen, but she didn't know her books were going to be such a success. I think we're hiding in plain sight, brother. What about this, Detective Gumshoe? Any thoughts? Yeah, well... It's pretty chilly today, huh? My brain doesn't work properly in the cold. Perhaps we'll just have to wait until summer when it's warmer. Oh no, my brain doesn't work properly in the heat. I'm kind of weak in the head. Some things you shouldn't advertise Gumshoe, especially in front of her. No thoughts? Alright. Probably go under Trials and Tribulations. Makes sense. There we go. I don't follow the ins and outs of it, but it turned out that this wasn't the murder weapon, right? It was Sister Bikini Saul. If what Sister Bikini Saul is right, then no, it's not. The murder weapon was thrust into the victim up to the hilt. Blood stains on this are consistent with her story. Don't worry, pal. I'll uncover the real murder weapon. If I hadn't turned up by now, by spring, you can take my badge. Be long over by then, gumshoe. Stab belonged to the victim. Yeah, and apart from the crystal missing from the top, nothing wrong with it. I just remembered something important. This is between us, okay? I wouldn't have anything to do with the case, detective. Well, no. If it is really, then I'm not interested. Yes, sir. Excuse me? Really gruesome? All I gotta say is that the killer had messed up in the head. It turns out the Chichichito thing wasn't even the murder weapon. So then why would someone stab into the victim like that? That's a mystery we're here to solve. It was like a circus today in court. All thanks to the little sketch. At the risk of repeating myself, you really ought to choose your friends more carefully, Phoenix Wright. Okay, now I know Larry's been out there, but he generally wants to help Iris. I'm sure of that. He wouldn't have produced this for no good reason. You're nothing more than a marshmallow on the inside. Both of you. This was found close to Dusky Bridge, wasn't it? That's what the artist guy said, yeah? Word after the defendant flew over the bridge, the burning bridge. According to his testimony, she dropped it when she landed on the other side. Crystal doesn't belong to Iris. Crystal had dropped out of Miss Lee's dog's new staff. There are traces of blood in it too. All I can think of right now is the killer just yeeted the body across the stinking bridge. There were traces of blood in it too. The real question is, what was it doing at the foot of the Dusky Bridge? And when she landed, the stinking bubble, the amethyst popped out of the thing. You can't fool me, that's what happened. The thing must have been worn by the victim. There's no other way of looking at it. Maybe because of the matching leather cord found around the victim's neck. Yeah, I bet it was one of those things she always wore. Like the safe driving charm I've been wearing for over a year now. Whenever we get into an accident, I guarantee it'll be the other guy's fault. It's supposed to stop you from having an accident in the first place. People. So now they got Wild's whereabouts. I don't think this is new. I think we did this last time. Yeah, the cold drinking mystery man didn't show in court. Totally made me rethink my perception of a pal. Cross-examined me once, you know? Yeah, that was us. With big guns, knocking words. We heard this. Apparently, the girl was trapped over here since the night of the murder. If she said anything to you about Maya, she wouldn't tell me. Not gonna tell me anything if she wouldn't even speak to you, pal. Really upset, she wouldn't stop crying. Phoenix Wright, look sharp and go comfort that poor young girl. I will, trust me, I will. Is that where we're going to next? Guys, got more mysteries and a choose your own escapade, pal. Book pal, what? Yeah, I know, trust me, I already know. Can't believe you skipped a trial like that without even getting permission. I've been fired for short reward for a normal company. Who would have expected the prosecutor's office to be so lax? I made the wrong impression, Phoenix Wright, more importantly. Doesn't it strike you as odd that the police are unaware of the man's medical situation? Of course, being extradited from heck is a tedious affair. The meticulous regeneration and adjustment of all your internal organs is, well, let's just say no. Some modern medicine allows us all to live to a ripe old age, even someone like me. Yeah, why is he hiding that from everyone? Additionally, raising the question, why did he choose to tell only you? Yeah, why did he? And you, but you know. Maggie said she's gonna buy me a new coat. Really? That's great. Yeah, I think he'll to say thanks for helping her out during the last case. Which means you can finally check out this stinky sweat soaked rag. You mean you don't have any special attachments to that coat? After all this effort, I took the mail back to you from Germany. Oh well, I'll be sure to take good care of it once it's retired, sir. Sweet old lady, doesn't look like the lying to me. There was a problem with her testimony, wasn't there? Yeah, but I don't think it was her fault. Trying to say the right thing came out all wrong, that's all. It was like happens to me all the time. For a detective, you are completely lacking the powers of observation. Sure was a mysterious person, we heard this already. picture does the same thing. I don't know, I'm not so sure anymore. Clues we found today will have turned this case all topsy-turvy. Can't see how Iris could have done it now. Oh, how interesting, Scruffy. Sadly, I don't share the same sentiment. Prepare yourself prepare yourself well for trial tomorrow. Finish right. Why does every prosecutor want to burn me at the stake so badly? He was Mrs. Elise Dawson's apprentice, or so I heard. Miss. Well, I suppose you could call him that. Well, lucky you, I suppose. Yeah, but only the paying 50 cents for it. It's pretty awful. We heard this one already. Well, what a beauty, huh? What was that long pause for Scruffy? Unless bro she got too. Ah, she needs to learn how to give compliments faster than Francesca gives lashes. I haven't seen Mr. Edgeworth for about a year. Talk about a long time. Do you know why he moved overseas? I don't know. Probably to look cool. There's a lot of weight attached to doing research overseas, you know. I've done my stint in Paris. You have to call me Monsieur comme Cacherat. People really don't get Edgeworth, do they? It's his own fault for not explaining anything about himself. Alright, we're good. Tell me there's anything else for us to examine here, right? Did all this before we stopped. Nothing new in here. Nothing new out here. Go to the suspension bridge. Go home. Heavenly Temple. Bridge. The main gate. Seems you have a visitor. Mr. Wright. Iris, I'm really glad to see you. Your dad managed to mobilize the police by claiming a state of emergency. Not him again. Never mind him, we gotta hurry and unlock the sacred cavern. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. It's my fault someone so important to you is locked in there. Mr. Edwards, can we finish our conversation later? Alright, let's hurry to the inner temple then. I'll see you later, Wright. Hold it. Wait, Edgeworth, I'm coming with you guys. Sorry, Wright. I can't allow you to come with us. What? I hate to be the one to break it to you, but my FA is in a rather delicate position. What do you mean, delicate position? Isn't it simply a rescue operation, right? Also an investigation. That being the case, we can't allow members of the public to interfere. Come on, Edgeworth. If anything happens, you'll be the first to know. Doesn't understand, right? Where's Maya, Mr. Right? All that matters is that Mystic Maya is rescued, correct? I listen to the voice of reason for a change, Phoenix, right? From now on, consider anything beyond Dusky Bridge to be off limits. We'll be going now. Excuse us. Ack. No time to be standing around, Phoenix, right? Aren't there other things that demand your attention? She's right. Thanks for reminding me. Dunk, 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 dunk. Where's my child at? Sister Bikini looks like she's shrunk some since I last saw her. Don't be so rude, Phoenix, right? What's wrong, Sister Bikini? I'm a mind, hello, you do. Yeah, what are you doing? Waha, waha, ma. From the sound of that sound, I guess she is still pretty down. Iris was just here, you know. She was accompanied by that handsome crimson-clad prince. Talking about that door. It was a courtesy call. I wasn't allowed to talk with her at all. Oh dear, it's all my fault. This has happened. Poor Iris. She was worried about my back. Would you believe? What have I done to her? Only what you had to do, sister. You bravely and truthfully testified about what you saw. There's no shame in that. We'll see to it that your testimony wasn't made in vain. Well, don't hear anyone else saying that. I don't hear anyone else saying that. Mr. Blue Suits doesn't seem to share your opinion, I see. Ah, me? Heck. Blair. Oh yes, you did great, Sister Bikini. Absolutely spectacular. Sniffle. You two are the only ones who said that to me. I can't shake the feeling that I would just become a chivalrous shrew. Do you have a problem, Phoenix, right? Sure, she was brave to testify so truthfully like that. But I know she's still hiding something. It's time to break those cyclops of hers. I'm not sure what it is. These dogs in them. Oh, we can try. Only 5? What else is? There's nothing else for us to do, right? We may be able to go to the intersection, or whatever it's called. Truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Convinced that these doctors know has special significance to this temple. So why she has special significance, I believe, has to do with her true identity. What on earth are you talking about? She was Mystical Elise, which is an author. She was just an author, a picture book. To be honest, I had my suspicions almost immediately after I met her. Suspicions, yes, but I didn't have any evidence to support my theory. Though now I do. This piece of evidence proves Miss Dawson's true identity. Miss Dawson had this charm with her at all times. Ka, where did you? This isn't some cheap good luck charm either. Then, what do you think it is, Mr. Wright? What could a talisman like that possibly mean? A talisman, is it? Interesting. Whoops. This thing speaks volumes about who Miss Dawson really was. This talisman and one other thing unequivocally proved Miss Dawson's true identity. Ah. I don't think we have all the information yet, though. Painting is obscured by this gravy stain at the moment. But this scroll shows a master of the Korean channeling technique. The crest at the top is a sign, an honorable title. Very same crest that adorns a talisman with the victim carry with her. See, I can't see the crest because of my overlay at the top of the banner. I had a feeling it was the mother, but this crest is reserved for the master of Korean. Who on earth told you that nonsense? I've got no idea what you're talking about. The new master, Maya Faye, told me. What? What? You mean the acolyte is Misty Faye's daughter? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. In fact, since her eldest daughter passed away, Maya is Misty Faye's sole successor. Music Misty. Pog, man. Mystical Elise graced us with her presence about a week ago. When she showed me this talisman with the mark on it, well, I nearly fainted. No one has seen her since she disappeared 17 years ago, after all. What was the significance of this talisman, sister? Korean talisman? Symbol of the Master of Korean. The bearer must carry it with them always until their death. Until their death. So at least Doxton was really Maya's mother, huh? She was Misty Faye, the master of the Korean channeling technique. The truth comes out at last. It looks like we're making some headway here. Tell me, sister. For 17 years, why does she choose to show herself now? Because something happened that called her out of hiding. What happened? Well, what's happening? Can the earthquake? Ugh! Oh my goodness, the inner temple, a kind of tremor might. The inner temple. Secret cavern is the training hall and might very well cave in. What? Maya? It seems to have passed. Well, we can't just stand here and do nothing. Let's go. What? Where? The inner temple, of course. Where else? Mr. Bikini, we'll finish it later. Alright, of course. You run along now. What may have been hurt? I must get some first aid kits ready. Come on, the Phoenix, right? It won't bar you from entering as long as I'm with you. Thank you. Right at the moment, I had the worst feeling in my gut. We just had an earthquake. I wonder if he's alright. How worried are you thinking about Miles Edgeworth? Come on, let's go. Just a second. I heard of the inner temple end, right? What are you doing here? How could I have expected to understand if you don't speak up? Yow. And why am I the one getting whipped? She's gone. No. It's been an hour, she's gone. Gone where? She fled. She escaped. What? So it was just now during the... Easy to see Edgeworth's one and only weakness, his fear of earthquakes. Should have known better than to escort the defendant alone. As soon as the ground started shaking, everything went dark before my eyes, and stupidly passed out. The incident haunts you to this day, doesn't it? No excuse for letting the suspect get away. Can't believe I let it happen. Right, the inner temple area is a dead end, so she could have only escaped to this side. We haven't seen her. Then we have to get a manhunt underway now. Search Eagle Mountain from top to bottom. Wait, Edgeworth, you hardly checked the inner temple yet? Don't be ridiculous, why would I? Inner temple is like an island. There's no way to escape but to cross. Well, that's not it. Iris is the type of person to run away, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? She began to mention something when we were here with her. The secret cavern might have caved in because of the earthquake. Then you think Iris might have gone to the inner temple to check on the situation. Listen, Edgeworth. Sure, she's at the inner temple. A manhunt is not necessary. Right, let's not waste any more time. We need to get to the training hall. It's the sacred cavern now. Alright, let's go. Fortunately, the sacred cavern hasn't caved in, but what we found, I think none of us had expected. How can there be even more locks? What is the meaning of this? Iris? Iris, please tell me what the heck's going on. To be continued. Ding. Yes. Right, is this what Gadot was talking about? Yeah, the trick locks. Now then, Iris, please remove one of these at once. Mr. Edward, I'm afraid I can't. It's not possible for me. What? During the earthquake, when the cavern was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. I know there was only one lock when I last came here. So you're saying you can't undo these new locks? Yes. If only I was stronger. Edward, how are you feeling? Looking a little pale on the face. You want to talk with your face all green. Edward, you'll get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You'll get a grip on yourself. Don't be ridiculous. I'm perfectly fine. No telling what sort of mistakes you can make in your current state. Go and get some rest. That's the only concern right now, Mr. Miles Edward. Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here. Don't. Edgeworth. Got so much pride. He's probably off crying in the corner of the garden. Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. As said, one must have pride to be effective on the job. At any rate, it seems that this is where every part ways finished, right? I'm going to stay here and see if I can help solve these bothersome puzzles. I see. Well, thanks for your help. Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris? Not at all. What do you know about my attorney's badge? Locks are far more important at the moment, wouldn't you agree? Alright. Why did you make her run for it, Iris? I'm sorry. I heard the inner temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was just worried I came to see, I just had to come and see. Although Richie didn't run away to escape the law, at least we're clear on that. I can't tell you how relieved I was that this whole secret cavern was alright, but what? There's all these chains here. So all these extra locks that someone had to put on the secret cavern's door, and who in the world would do something like that? These trick locks are a sacred treasure of the Korean tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the person who set the lock can open it. Interesting. Hundreds of ways, whereas a combination lock has thousands of ways? Are you sure you aren't the one who set these locks? I don't think it's that simple, Francesca Von Karma. When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, there are 5 of them. What does that mean? It means that someone wanted to secure this place even more. They wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. It means that Iris can only open one of these locks, the first one. Yes, that's correct. What? Iris, try to think, please. Isn't there any way around this? Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through each combination of each one, I could remove them. But it would take time, won't it? Yes, about a day if I had to guess. A whole day? Well then, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us? Sure. Do whatever I can. I'm gonna wait another day. Any other Maya, you're going to have to call on your inner strength now. I mean, didn't you just spend like 3 days inside someone's basement? Should be fine. You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get. What might that be, Fish, right? I think it's obvious. On the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room and had to Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident. But you were seen at that same evening at the Inner Temple. And then, you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hazakura Temple too. Being spotted in both Hazakura Temple and the Inner Temple, as if you were... Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth. It's about Dahlia. Something going on here we don't know about. Take that! Nothing else for us to really do, right? So I guess we have the information. Night of the crime. I think it's time that you told us the truth about what you were doing that night. You said you were in your room in Hazakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim to be that to be the truth? Yes, that's where I was. Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me too, but I can't, because this person saw you somewhere else that night of the murder. Talking about Sister Bikini, of course. Sister Bikini. Her testimony to court today was very clever. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the Inner Temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act out violently. But Iris had helped the acolyte return to the Hazakura Temple. Sister Bikini didn't just see you, she spoke to you. You two talked about Maya's training in the night. You see, Iris, you were there at the Inner Temple on the night of the murder. That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. Acolyte's actual training was due to the start at 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early so I wouldn't be late. What time was that? Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the Inner Temple. Absolute bullcrap. I do not believe it. That's like maybe 20 trees. Impossible. It's a 20-meter bridge. What are you talking about? 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the Inner Temple. So I would have left it about 9:40, I think. I'm sorry, Iris, but your line just doesn't suit you. Huh? No, you say you left the main hall at 9:40 p.m., but what you say doesn't add up with this. Uh-oh. You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night. Plus only moments before you rang the bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have. It was that me, Mr. Wright. We spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten. No, that's right. I remember. That brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. Time you told me exactly what's going on, Iris. So far, I managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the Inner Temple. And second, the exact same time you were ringing the bell in the Hazakura Temple. Only one possible explanation for this apparent possibility. On the night of the incident, you were seen at 2 different places at the same time, which means it must have been 2 of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris. Well, that's crazy. How could that be? Only one of me? It's impossible. Impossible. I wonder. The way you're trembling through it seems to suggest otherwise. Gold? Seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me? Show me the evidence, show me something that proves there's more than one of me. Alright, I don't think we have Dahlia's court record though, do we? Oh, and the wire's calling. We might not have it yet. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm looking at here. I don't think we have it yet. We'll be back. We'll be back. Maybe we just need to get Dahlia Hawthorne's thing somehow. Maybe somebody else. Let's do it with the garden. In the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too if I got to be Chop Job. Especially with someone giving me the evil eye the whole time. Wonder how could I have done that? I can't believe it's still bothering him. Edgeworth. Ah. Don't you dare run away. What do you want, Wright? What do I want? You came here to laugh at me, but go on with it. Go on, laugh away. Ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edward. You went back to the criminal affairs department, right? Did you want to look into something concerning Iris? Yes, thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. Donka. Guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden here, huh? High chance this is where the actual scene of the crime. That's why. You mean because of the writing in the blood and the talisman in the snow? Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder. But surely, you don't suspect. Maya, do you? We have to treat everyone as a suspect, Maya as well as Iris. Her job, right? So, I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes. No, though thankfully my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath. 17 years ago, when we were little school kids at the same elementary school, you blasted some guy. So we thought. Middle of a murder. It all started with a big quake that hit the courthouse. Stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. Single gunshot. Shattered my whole life. Was everything that day? All because of that earthquake. What kind of elevators did they make it? In San Francisco. My dreams, my family, myself. Been more than 17 years now, and that case will finally resolve 2 years ago, right? I think I don't know that, but I was there, but... Such a shock. Never imagined I could be so wrong about myself in my life. I'm sorry, right? There's nothing else I can say. And after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake, but after you saved me. Edward, you're stronger than that, you think? What do you think? So, no more self-pity, okay? There was something that bothered me about her from the very moment I saw her, when we met. I feel like we've seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I feel like I've seen her in court before. So you went back to the criminal affairs department to look for her file? Yes, I checked every other file case I've worked on. I was right. I've seen her face before 6 years ago. 6 years ago was my first appearance in court, and as cases go, it was my worst nightmare. Who is she? Sorry, right? Can't give the information away to the public of the general public. Why not? It might be a crucial piece of the puzzle that solves this case. The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. Nothing to do with the Iris and the house of her temple. In this case, the woman is completely unrelated to this murder. Unrelated. I can say that with complete confidence. You're wrong, Edgeworth. Totally related to this case. I need to fill Edgeworth in. And the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. We do not have the information yet, I don't believe. So, we had to go get someone to tell us about Dahlia. I'm finally getting to the bottom of this case and count on Iris to break those locks, so I should try to gather more clues. To Bikini, Edward, and Gumshoe, and Pearls, wherever she is. Weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. It gets quiet up here in the mountains when you're all alone. Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out the shack just down this path. Maybe I'll find Larry there sulking in. Or my child, who I think I've adopted. Oh, Mr. Nick. Pearls, what are you doing here? Nothing. What about Mr. Maya? Is she alright? Well, we don't know yet. Oh, I see. Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry, this is the loser shack where they're just get together to lose themselves. This is the what? We found comfort in each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with that? Look, Mr. Nick, this will erase the picture of me. That's some great pearls. We're going to gather firewood now. We can somehow raw potatoes over this little campfire. Instead of our way. I don't believe this. Why can't you try getting fired over becoming a better man? No one knows a word to say to you. Listen to me, Pearl. You don't want to trust this kind of guy. Okay, I'll let you down. Oh, Mystic Maya. Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture? Nothing to say to you, Nick. Life's here now with Pearl, two leaders cooking potatoes together forevermore. What am I gonna do with them? Alright then. What do you think about this picture, Pearls? I think it's drawn really well. I can't draw at all, so I think it's really amazing. See, someone appreciates it. It's tough getting the flames to look bad like that, you know? It's supposed to be Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? Oh, but it's like a dream. A wonderful fantasy. No, it wasn't a dream. She really flew, I'm telling you that Iris really flew that night. And Mr. Larice. Sigh. Not you too. Please don't look at me like that. Pearl. Look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase, I beg of you. Guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw. I was half asleep when I was here that night. I was wide awake after the lightning struck. I saw what I saw was about exactly like I drew in the picture. It's like I don't have any choice but to take this sketch as face value. Look at it. What's looking down on your face? Pearls? Yes, Mr. Nick. I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you, and what exactly were you doing when it all happened? I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know? Sure, it doesn't really matter what I was doing, does it, Mr. Nick? Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Miss Dawson's room reading a book together, but Miss Dawson was murdered, and you, Pearls, were at the inner temple. Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls? I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick. I'll come back. I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished. What are you talking about, Pearls? My spiritual power has disappeared. What? Her powers have disappeared. What do you mean your power has disappeared, Pearls? It's all over for me. Spirit medium who can't channel spirits like that is like a painter who can't paint. Hey, what are you looking at me for? Pearls, did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at the Azakura Temple? Try but fail, perhaps. Wah? And again, Nikki made her cry. That was really cruel of you. Wah? Just as I thought, I'm going to have to break her cycle locks to get the truth out of her. In another year, perhaps. Maybe Sister Bikini has the information, or Gumshoe, wherever he is. I wonder if Sister Bikini is back at the main hall yet. Haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. Let's see what Sister Bikini's doing. Is she okay? What's the damage? That was a secret cavern. Looks like it's survived, but we have a bigger problem now. Sister Bikini, all about it. Not the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the secret cavern. But who? Who could have done that? Only people who know how to set those trick locks are those of the Korean tradition. We have ours in the secret cavern trying our best to open them up for us right now. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini. Oh yes, we were in the middle of a chat, weren't we? Yes, you were telling me about how Master of the Korean disappeared 17 years ago. I want to know why Misty Face suddenly appeared at this temple. It was about a week ago when Mystic, at least, no, I mean Mystic and Misty, arrived. Stir. After she showed me the talisman that proved that she was the master, she said, someone is trying to destroy the Korean tradition's main family line. I'm here to put a stop to them. Someone who was trying to destroy the main family line? There's only one heir to the title of master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. The child becomes the new master of the Korean, and your daughters, the main family, all the minions become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have and always will. plot to erase those in the main family line. Is the power of the Master worth as much bloodshed? You believe in technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know his power is real? Yes, I do. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During the mass case, and during Maggie Bird's trial, too. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her the most. Current technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to commune with the dead. That's true psychic power, you know. Members of the tradition have always been there behind every important leader. You will respect such a tremendous skill. But all the power and influence, I kind of expected you to be really rich by now. And you say we're poor, Mr. Wright. Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? Ho, 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 you're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in it anymore, you see. All because of one little mistake. What mistake? What mistake? 17 years ago, Misty. Everything came crashing down, all because of that incident. That incident she's talking about, I think it is, the DC-6. Sure, the record still exists if you're interested, look it up, of course. Called the DL6. Ah, frick. Name of the file. I knew it. What's the incident? I know it well. I handled a related case just about 2 years ago. That's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney in that case. A murder that took place 17 years ago. First time in the country's history that police ever used spirit medium. The medium was channeled the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer. The medium was who performed channeling Misty May, Maya's mother. Wrote Mystic Misty channeling the name of the deteriorated man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action. But the man, he was found not guilty, wasn't he? That's right, he was, and that's the case remained a mystery. Give me like 1 minute.